Yo guys, what is going on? I got a rarely used match against a guy called Peter Baines. I don't know if you remember who he is. I don't know if you acknowledge his existence. But he's a superhero, so you should all know about his existence. His YouTube link will be down below in the description. He also is a queer fag, but he's also a good friend of mine. I'm talking about WePWNPokemon. I got a battle against him. This battle was just right after he hit #1 on the showdown ladder, so he knows what he's doing. I know his team, he knows mine, so we're good buddies. We play all the time, play together, play against each other, so it's fine. This was a very interesting match. He's got Durant, Uxie, Hitmonchan, Entei, Rotom, Cut, and Druddigon. And this is the team he made a Rate My Team about, which I also helped him to do because I'm a nice person. Anyway, I'm running a double Choice Band team. I've got CB Druddigon, I've got Standard Lilligant, Choice Scarf Magnetric, Tank Growth, Choice Bandit is Cavalier, and Tank Slowking as well with T-Wave and whatnot. Looking at threats, that fucking Durant sweeps me once my Magnetric is down, and also as Cavalier, but I cannot do much with Cavalier, he cannot do much to me either, so we got some strong Pokemon on both sides. So, I predicted him to lead up with Druddigon to try and get up his Stealth Rocks, so I'm going to lead up with my Tangrowth because I run a lot of speed EVs, but I know his runs a lot more than common Druddigons do, so he's probably going to outspeed me, and he does. He gets up his Stealth Rocks. I don't have a spinner, so they're here to stay. He does, in the form of Hitmonchan, but he doesn't get to spin, so yeah, just telling you that. I don't think I even set up rocks in this match. Anyway, I'm going to predict the switch to Rotom Cut. Very nicely, go for Hidden Power of Fire. He got mad about it. I really don't care. And I'm going to predict his Volt Switch. So I'm going to switch to my Magnetric. And the Overheat is pretty obvious. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch on his incoming Druddigon. And I get Switch Initiative. And at this point, something has to die. I'm going to go into my Druddigon. And I'm going to go for a Choice Bandit Outrage. So something needs to go down. He picks Druddigon as his Death Fodder. He was asleep. He already got up Stealth Rock, so it's a very solid Death Fodder for him. Now he's going to go into his Durant. He knows he can take one hit and set up a Hone Claws on my face. And if I don't get the 3-turn, I'm going to switch out because Druddigon is a valuable member for my team to kill off that Entei. But unluckily, I do get the 3-turn and he takes me out with a +1 Iron Head. Now, I need to go into my Magnetric. I don't want to go for an Overheat because if I do, he's going to set up with his Subcalm Mind Uxie. So I'm going to go for a Volt Switch. He does predict that very nicely. Goes into his Rotom to take it because he knew it would be very risky for me to lock myself into Overheat. I'm going to go into Tangrowth, and I know he's going to Volt Switch out into Durant because the Sleep Powder is too obvious. So I'm going to go for the Hidden Power Fire. He does make that switch, so Durant is out of the way. Big threat removed. Thank you, Jesus. I don't know what he's going to send in next. I think he might go into his Entei. No, he goes into his Uxie, never mind. Because he knows he can set up on me. So he's going to go for a Calm Mind, I believe, on the switch. As I go into my Scavalier. My bad, he goes for a Substitute. It really doesn't matter what he goes for because, as you guys are about to see, his Thunderbolt does 20% damage to me. So I know a Scavalier is a very, very good check to his Uxie. And I know he's going to sub up again, predicting my switch because he knows that eventually I know that he'll eventually has to switch, and he knows that I know that he has to switch. So in this turn, I predict he switched to Entei, but he goes into his Hitmonchan. He said it was a misclick. He wanted to bring Entei, so I did make the prediction correctly. Either way, I'm in a good position because Slowking fares well against Hitmonchan regardless. He goes for Drain Punch. He doesn't have Thunder Punch because he's a spinner. He's got Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Foresight, and Rapid Spin. I went for a T-Wave, actually predicting the switch, and I go for it again, predicting the switch too. But he just stays in, makes a good play, absorbs it, and at this point, he probably knows I'm going to recover. I wanted to bluff, and I said that in the chat that I'm going to T-Wave again, but he makes a decent play. I go for Slack Off. He probably predicted that, and he gets a safe switch into his Uxie. So for this reason, I'm going to be forced to send in my Escavalier again, and he is going to go for a Substitute. Really no point not going for a sub, so he makes the general good play there. I know that my Escavalier can still take them fairly decently, so I'm just gonna go for I'm gonna go for an Iron Head again. I don't want to miss Mega Horn because if I do, Uxie gets a free hit on me, and he probably will take me out, plus keeping up the Substitute. So I don't want that to happen. I'm gonna keep going for Iron Heads, and at this point, he's gonna set up his I think last Substitute. I don't know if he has HP to build another one. I wanted to predict the switch to Entei. I knew he would switch, but if he had enough HP for a sub, I would have been wrecked. So I just played safe, going to my go for an Iron Head, and now I need to fodder off something because Slowking will die after Stealth Rocks, I believe. 2-8 KO from Flow Blitz. So I know that I'm going to need Slowking to get in for free. And I'm gonna go for a T-Wave, no reason not to. If he goes into Hitmonchan, I can just Side Shock or Scald. I'm gonna go for a Scald, predicting the switch to Uxie to take the Side Shock and possibly get enough leftovers recovery to set up a sub and go on Rampage on my face. So I'm going constantly for Scald because I'm very, very scared of the thought of him bringing Uxie onto my Side Shock, take it very nicely and set up a sub and proceed to sweep my team because my Escavalier is gone. So this time I decide not to be a pussy, I decide to be real and kill off this Hitmonchan finally with a Side Shock. But he doesn't go into his Uxie, he goes into his Rotom Cut. So he goes for a Leaf Storm, and if he had gone for a Volt Switch, I know that Entei is walled by my Slowking, which would have been able to take it, I think. And even if he didn't, I would have safe switched into main entry because he would be locked into Flail Bits. For this reason, he decides to go for Leaf Storm. Big mistake on his behalf, in my opinion. And this is going to be very beneficial for me because I know I'm going to be able to set up +1, kill off this Rotom with the Giga Drain because I needed health to live an extreme speed from Entei. I ran a Calc and I knew that I could live it. I live it with 3, and I take it out with an HP Rock, which I run on my Lilligant for fire types. He only has his Uxie left. I've got my main net check ready to roll. I'm scared that Volt Switch doesn't kill, so I go for an overheat and risk the miss and him possibly setting up a sub. But it all turns out well in the end. He actually didn't have enough HP for a sub because in the log it says that I took 24.4%, so he really did not have enough health to set up a substitute. So this was a very good game, in my opinion. Good plays on both sides, nice predictions, nice game overall. Very fast-paced game, in my opinion. So I hope you all enjoyed this battle against Bone. Don't forget to leave a like, check out his channel, he's a very cool guy. And yeah, later.